Welcome to another exciting of TechUOut with your hosts, Emmanuel Diarra and Tony Mathis. Today we're going to talk about a couple different things. You want to go and start us off?
Yeah, the first thing we're going to be talking about is whole home Wi-Fi, which, you know, everybody has Wi-Fi nowadays. It's almost essential.
For some of our viewers, can you, what's the definition of Wi-Fi? What is Wi-Fi?
Well, when you get an internet service, you know, used to, before there was Wi-Fi, you plugged like your computer into the DSL and all that kind of stuff.
Plugged right into the router.
Right, it was a direct plug-in. But now you've got a few pieces of equipment. There's the modem, which, you know, brings the internet into the house basically.
Okay. And
then there's the router. And the router is what distributes Wi-Fi, which is your wireless internet that you connect to with your phone, for example, or your laptop.
Okay.
So it's, you know, your internet that you have that's not hardwired, basically.
I gotcha.
So basically what PTCI offers is whole home Wi-Fi, which it works, you know, like traditional Wi-Fi, in which it is a wireless connection to internet, but it's a lot more secure than just normal Wi-Fi that you get from a router you buy at Walmart or something like that.
Okay.
So, for example, if you get the whole home Wi-Fi, we monitor that and we make sure no one's like stealing your internet, because people, they do that. They'll get on your Wi-Fi and they'll slow it down because they're using your internet service to watch like Netflix or play games or whatever.
That's interesting. I didn't know they can do that.
Yeah. So, assuming, you know, if it's not password protected, and even then, you know, I know people that can hack into people's routers even if it is password protected. So this is just another layer of protection to make sure that's not happening.
Okay.
And another good thing about PTCI's whole home Wi-Fi is that we monitor it, make sure you're getting the speed you're supposed to get and that your Wi-Fi is working correctly. So that helps quite a bit too, because honestly, like I don't know how much this happens. It has to be a lot. I know it happens a lot. But people will, you know, have Wi-Fi in their house, but they're not getting the speed they're supposed to get. And that's why you can run speed tests to check that. But this would make sure that you weren't fighting that issue. Okay.
Can you explain about the dual bands, like on the Gigacenter?
Yeah, what we offer is dual band routers, and what that means is the router actually puts out two different wireless signals. If you want to get technical about it, the first signal is a 2.4 gigahertz signal, and the second is a 5. The 5 doesn't have quite as far of a range, but it's a little bit stronger when you're close, and then the 2.4 actually goes farther. But the main point about getting a dual band router is you can put some devices on one signal and other devices on the other, and that way you don't have all your devices eating up all of your signal, because it distributes that into two, and then you don't have as much interference as you would have with just one signal.
Okay. And basically, you know, the more time goes on, the more things that are internet-based that you need Wi-Fi for. You know, you have cell phones, you have tablets, you have PlayStation, Xbox, everything needing the internet.
Right.
And, you know, you get that internet by Wi-Fi, and that's why it's good to have the dual band on the 5 gigahertz and the 2.4 gigahertz. And a lot of times people, they'll put some like their TVs and stuff, like depending on where your where your router's at,
right,
on the 5 gigahertz, and then like maybe your phones and things like that you kind of walk around the house more on the 2.4 gigahertz.
Yeah, and a good example of that is if you have like an Xbox or a PlayStation or something like that, and it's near your router, you can put that on the 5 gigahertz signal, and that way, you know, if somebody wants to play a game or something, Call of Duty, whatever, they can play that uninterrupted, while, you know, someone who wants to play Words with Friends or something on their phone can be on the other signal, and then everybody can play their games or watch their shows or whatever they want to do uninterrupted without that interference.
Yeah. So
that is really beneficial, and one of the really, really good parts, like honestly, this is my favorite part about the whole home Wi-Fi, because this part's a really good deal. But we can provide people with, they're called mesh units, but they're basically Wi-Fi extenders.
Oh, okay.
So let's say that you've got a pretty big house and you've got a giga center, but the signal's just not reaching a certain bedroom or a certain part of the house or something like that. We can install these extenders and basically get Wi-Fi to that room.
And there's two ways they do these extenders, these mesh units. Is you can plug right into it, which will give you the strongest signal, or it could actually be done by the Wi-Fi.
Right.
It picks up the Wi-Fi and then extends it. So that's pretty neat that it's able to do that. But you got to remember that if you're not being wired into it, you still got to be within the range that your router's reaching for it to extend it.
Right, the actual extender has to be in the range.
Yeah,
of
you can't put it on that far corner because you weren't reaching it in the first place.
Right, so
basically that's
basically
something to remember.
Yeah, so basically, if your router is reaching your hallway and you need that extender to reach the rest of the house, you'd have to put the extender in the hallway so it can hit that signal and then reach the rest of the house. But honestly, it's a really good deal. Units like that, they go for like $300 extra, like normally, if you just buy them by yourself. But it's the normal home Wi-Fi with PTCI is $9.95 a month, and then if you get an extender, then it's $12.95 a month, which is a few dollars more instead of having to go pay like $300 for the mesh system.
Yeah, and sometimes as a family you can't go out and buy that $500, $600 router with the extender, but I think most families can do about $12, $15 extra to just to make sure that you have a good secure Wi-Fi at your house and not have to kind of a worry-free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and the Giga Center just by itself can reach an area about 1,500 square feet.
And I'd say that's pretty good area.
Right.
Most houses probably are in that range.
Right, and so you don't really start needing to get into an extender region until you're looking at from 1,500 to like 3,000 square feet, and anything above that you're going to need more extenders. But honestly, that covers most homes.
Yeah, that's a pretty good size home, and then I think you could actually do up to 4 of these extenders if you had a huge home.
Right.
So that's pretty neat that they kind of work together to extend your Wi-Fi to your whole home.
Right. So honestly, it's a pretty good value if you actually care about getting the best quality Wi-Fi that you can get, then this would be the option to go with, because like I say, it's a lot more secure than just Wi-Fi from a router at Walmart. It's going to be a lot more efficient. It's going to be faster.
You know what I think? Another cool thing about doing it through PTCI is they do the updates.
Right.
I know
updates.
in the past when I've had mine at the house, a long time ago I bought one of those old routers from Walmart, and I never updated it.
Yeah.
And now that I have the Giga Center, I don't have to worry about it. They'll update it for me.
Yeah, I've done because in the past when I lived in Ponca City, I bought a router from Walmart and stuff because I just had AT&T over there, and you don't really think about doing the updates. I actually did it just to do it.
See, I never updated my stuff, and now I have the Giga Center.
I will say if you do want to get into that and update your firmware for your router, depending on what your router is, it can get a little bit technical.
Yeah.
Because you have to figure out, where to go to actually log into your router. You have to figure out how to log into your router, which a lot of people don't know. And then... Can
you show us how to do that on today's show?
I have to have a computer in front of me.
Just joking.
It'd take a little while, maybe more time than what we have.
Well, you said technical and giving out these names of getting to your router, and that it is tricky, but if you are savvy in that area, go for it, I guess.
Yeah, but
I recommend, for people like me, I know a little bit, but it's so much easier just to have them take care of it.
Just remember the fact that we don't have time to do it on the show means it's a little bit of a process. So it is a lot easier just to let PTCI kind of do it for you, and you don't have to worry about it.
A lot easier.
But Another thing I really like about, you know, the whole home Wi-Fi and it being quality Wi-Fi is everything's going to streaming.
Let's talk about that. Quality of your internet is important when it comes to streaming, and everything is going to streaming. We've been talking about it a lot here in the office about streaming and different avenues of getting TV over the top. So let's go and talk about that just a little bit. What does it mean to get TV over the top or TV over the internet?
Well, I mean, that's basically what it is. It's TV over your internet. So, you know, for the longest time, people have always had cable or even satellite TV, but that's changing because it's kind of a vicious cycle in the TV industry right now. All these companies are raising the prices of their contracts for the TV providers by like insane percentages. And so, you know, TV providers like DirecTV and us and others, for example, you know, if we want to carry certain channels, we have to get these bundles that the networks, you know, require for us to provide those certain channels. And so they keep upping the price on that for, you know, people to provide them. Well, in effect, you know, companies like DirecTV have to raise their TV prices because they're paying more to get the channels.
That's correct.
Well, you also have this other, you know, part of it where everybody's going to Netflix or, you know, just stuff like Hulu and getting rid of TV. So then you have less of a customer base that you have to put those higher prices on. And so it's this...
So it makes the prices go up even higher.
Right.
And something that, we're a co-op and we value our customers, and we don't want to continue to put these high prices on them, and we understand that there's people that they don't like change. I don't like change. I understand that, but I've been looking at this stuff for a little while, and there's a few different avenues. A lot of people, sports is a big deal. They're like, well, can I get my sports?
Right.
And there's ways. There's different ways to get your sports. There are different ways to get your TV shows. Another big question is, well, can you record? And some of these products, they allow you to record, some 50 hours, some 200 hours. And I've done a little bit of research. There's, just to name a few, there's like Hulu that has some live TV, DirecTV Now has live TV, Sling, which I'm trying it out. Right. And I like it. I watched some NBA the other day, and you know, my family is big into sports. Right. We watched NBA. I'm going to watch some of the football when we start in football season, and I think it'll work out. Right.
So this stuff isn't just, it's not just like YouTube. It's not just like Netflix. These are actual channels that you would watch normally on cable, but you can get them over the top.
They're live TV channels.
Right.
They're, you know, what's going on in the world. Another one is PlayStation View. And then one that's not quite in our area yet, but it's called YouTube TV. Right. And they're working on getting it to our area, so I don't think it'll be too much longer, and then they'll be here also. Right. But those are just a few that you can get live TV, and it just depends on what channels you want to watch.
And local news as well. You know, a lot of people don't think that these services have local news, but a lot of them are starting to get those local news channels as well. So that's another big deal, because for the longest time, people, you know, they want their cable because they want their sports and their news.
And their TVs, their series that they watch.
Right. So what this is, to put it in basic terms, is TV is changing, but TV isn't going away as a whole. It's just moving to the internet.
Yeah, it is moving to the internet quickly.
Yes, very quickly. Because it's just so much more price efficient for all of the companies, the networks, and the consumers, honestly, too. You know, you're saving quite a bit of money by switching to Sling.
I am saving quite a bit of money a month, and I like saving money.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. The thing is, you just got to get, it's a little different. You know, you got your guide, and it looks different than your old guide. Just a little bit. Yeah. But you just find what you want to watch. And the cool thing is, like on this, like it has more than just live TV. There's this thing that's called on demand, and there's series, and you can go to a series, start watching a series, and it's always there. You don't have to wait until like 8 o'clock to watch it.
Right.
You can watch it when you're ready to watch it because it's on demand. And I like that.
Yeah,
I
do
think,
too.
I think a lot of people do because that's what made Netflix big.
Yeah, because I mean, you get on Netflix and you're like, you know, I want to watch Arrow or I want to watch Flash or whatever show you're into, and you just pull it up and you can watch whatever episode you want right then and there. And I think you know, one of the hardest things about over the top is it's just different. It's change, and you know, a lot of people don't like change, but it's not nearly as scary as, you know, it might seem to be. But
I thought it was going to be scary, but
yeah.
it really is not bad at all. And the cool thing about it is I think they can keep prices lower because it is internet based. And like, you know, we're here in the Panhandle. We don't have a whole lot of people here in the Panhandle. We have a few, you know, maybe 30,000, 35,000 people here in the Panhandle. On the internet stuff, it's global. So their market is to everyone. So they have those type of numbers, they can keep the price lower.
Right. And honestly, you know, we're a tech company, and if people have questions or want to ask us about it, then that's what we're here for. Because, you know, we've got members, and PTCI's goal is to bring the newest and best technology to our members. So if somebody needs help, you know, then they can just call and ask or come in and ask, and we'll do our best to help them. So, but yeah, I definitely think the whole home Wi-Fi is the perfect solution if you want to go to streaming. You know, just because the extra quality does matter when you're streaming video. Video takes up a lot of bandwidth.
That's true.
So
and you don't want to see that little wheel spinning.
Right.
So, you know, what do you recommend as far as speed-wise?
Well, what we recommend is at least 25 meg and up, because there are, you know, places that still offer slower speeds than that. But to be honest, those speeds are outdated, and, you know, a lot of organizations recommend that, you know, 25 and up, that's the current standard.
I have 50 meg at my house, and I got Xbox, PlayStation, we got a couple TVs going, and our phones, everything's connected. So the more devices you have, it's probably better to have those upper speeds.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just watching Netflix or something like that, 25 is fine. But you know, if you have like 3 different laptops connected or something like that, and tablets and phones and everything else, you know, 50 would probably be more ideal. Because I mean, 50, that's decent.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah. So, plus considering you get a dual band router, that helps as well. So you'd pretty much be covered.
Yeah. I would recommend at least 50 if you have a lot of devices.
Right. Yeah, if you're someone who doesn't have a whole bunch of devices, then, you know, 25 I would say would be the new standard in 2018, just because, you know, everything is taking more and more speed. That's just how it always goes. You know, computers used to come with a lot less RAM and memory and everything else, but, you know, data is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy how much these have nowadays.
Yeah, you think about that, and, you know, people used to wish their computers came with as much space as those have on them now.
It's true.
And that's just kind of the nature of technology.
And the good thing is, you know, they call it cable cutting or whatever when you get rid of your traditional TV. On the prices on some of these, like I know with Sling, since I just got it, they got one that's like 20 bucks. And then I think the one I got was a little bit more than that. It was like 25 bucks. And then you can add channels for $5 or $10. You can add a lot more channels.
Yeah.
They all range about that, you know, 25, 35 bucks to 70 bucks, which is still cheaper than
the normal TV. Yeah.
So I think it's the way the TV is going is going to be over the top, and I think it's coming quicker than we think.
Yeah, because, you know, 2 years ago, people were like, "Oh, that's, you know, 10 years in the future," all that kind of thing. No, it's happening right now. I mean, this is the year that people are doing that.
And there's different companies that are buying the rights for the NFL football games and the NBA games. And
well, even Twitter had bought a license to do some NFL games, I think a year or two ago, and streamed them live on Twitter. And you know, there you go. You hop on Twitter and you watch the ball game. So that's kind of, you know, the way it's going. And so it is important to stay up to date on your internet speeds and not, you know, get left behind in that aspect.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Pick your brain just a little bit. I'll put the cheat sheet towards you. So can you record? I know like people in the past, they can record onto their thing. I know that these have on the demand, but recording's different.
Right.
Can you record on some of these?
I believe you can.
You're
I
right.
don't have
You're
one.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
I was just throwing that out. You can record. You just gotta pay attention of what you want, because some of them you can and some of them you can't. So it's just kind of knowing how many TVs you want, knowing if you want to be able to record. Because like on the way these work, it's like they got the cloud. Everything's in the cloud nowadays, right? So they have the cloud DVR, I believe is what it's called. And some of them are like 50 hours. I think that one, I got it right here actually. 50 hours is included right now today. It'll probably change. But 50 hours included on Hulu. Or you can add, and it costs if you add, but up to 200 hours. That's on Hulu. DirecTV Now, which they don't have it right now, but I bet they're working on it.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, all they have is a 72-hour rewind.
Right.
So like something like you missed your favorite show, you can rewind up to 72 hours. Sling, it's $5 extra a month, and it's 50 hours. PlayStation View, I like this. The DVR is available, no extra fee and no limit.
Yeah, that's nice.
So if you have a PlayStation, and actually you don't even have to have a PlayStation, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, don't quote me on this. But I know they have an app.
Yeah.
I've saw it on the Roku stick, and the PlayStation View's there, and you can record. That's pretty neat.
I mean, honestly, Sony's really working on this area, and they're trying to be a leader in it.
Yeah, that's cool. YouTube TV. Let me calm down. It's the same thing. It's not here available in this area yet, but it will, and it's no extra fee, no limit. And I don't know how long these will last or how long that they won't change prices and stuff, but all these ones are competing against each other, which is good for us because that'll keep prices low, and they'll continue to get more and more content because they want to compete with each other.
Well, and when you think about, you know, Google owns YouTube, and, you know, YouTube doesn't have very many restrictions on what you can upload and how big it can be and all that, because they've just got massive servers. So, you know, they're investing in some insane servers.
I'm ready for them to come to our area.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of waiting for, because like I don't really watch TV.
You don't watch TV?
Not hardly.
What kind of college student are you?
I watch my stuff on YouTube. Honestly, I'll type in, you know, live news or whatever, and you know, whatever my favorite news channel is, I will pull that up on YouTube and just watch it.
So that's actually another way people can get their news is through YouTube, like right now, because you don't have the YouTube TV. You just go to YouTube and look it up, right?
Right. I just go to YouTube and I look it up, and you know, I'll put in, you know, Fox News Live or Discovery Live or something like that, and people will have it up there and have it streaming, and you can watch it in almost real time. It's not quite. It's like probably a 2-minute delay.
So
like
you know, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not really a big deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I do. I just look it up on YouTube, type in live, I find a stream, and I jump in there.
What about your weather? How do you find your weather?
Personally,
I
use the weather app. You know, weather.com, they've got an app, and that's what I check. It's usually pretty accurate. Of course, we live in the Oklahoma Panhandle, so
weather does change out here. Today it's actually a little cold. We're here in the studio. It doesn't look cold, but outside it is cold today. But I'm the same way. I'm like you. With my weather and stuff, people ask me, like, what do you do about weather? I got an app on my phone, and I just look at it. And then, you know, with my TV, like I said, I just got Sling. It's on my phone.
Yeah.
I can watch the TV show on my phone if I wanted to. And I've been watching a little bit at the house because I'm testing it because, you know, I want to get familiar with it.
Right.
Because for our annual meeting, we're going to kind of go over this stuff again with people.
Right. We're actually gonna have a demonstration booth that you're a part of.
Yeah, I'll be helping out with that.
So yeah, if you guys want to you know, have a live demo of how over-the-top works and how these streaming services work, go watch Emmanuel at our annual meeting. And
I'll be helping out. There's going to be several of us that are helping. And if you do have questions, or you know, you're watching this show and you have something that you think of, bring it up there to the meeting. And you know, we're actually, you know what's cool? We're going to be giving away a TV.
There you go.
So come win a TV. It's going to be good. I know it's scary because like some people are like, oh, I want my cable.
Yeah.
It's just another way to get your TV shows.
Yeah, and they keep it pretty simple. I mean, I've looked at a lot of the services and kind of how the setup goes, and it's, you know, step-by-step instructions. They walk you through it, and they try to make it easy because they want to sell their product. So there's no point in making it difficult.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. If I can do it, I think anybody can, and that's how I think. Our annual meeting's actually going to be April the 12th, so go ahead and clear your calendars for that day, and come to our annual meeting. It's gonna be good. I'm excited because, you know, we're gonna have the booth going. We're gonna be talking about all this different products, and there's always great food.
Yeah, there's
probably,
good food.
That's actually, I'm not going to lie, that's probably my favorite part.
And giveaways.
Food. I like the food. We're going to be giving away a bunch of cool stuff.
A bunch of stuff.
Dealing with streaming, with the TV I said. I'm excited.
Yeah, and we're going to have, we'll have an article up on our website soon about some over-the-top services that you can look into. And then if you're interested in the whole home Wi-Fi, we also have quite a bit of information on our website about that, ptci.net. And you can look it up there, or you can come in and talk to one of our CSRs, and they'll be able to give you a brochure and kind of explain it to you in a little bit more detail.
Funny question. What's a CSR?
Customer service representative.
Just checking. Yeah, if you got questions, I'd say ask any of them. They're pretty knowledgeable.
Oh yeah, they stay on top of
a lot of things. I am impressed with our CSRs. Because they have a lot, they have to know a lot, and give you all props. Keep up the good work and knowing everything.
Yeah, for real. But thank you so much for watching this episode of TechUOut. Like I say, there's lots of resources if you have any questions, and we're always happy to help you guys out.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next month.